Back when I was in elementary school, I used to have these loveless individuals show up to my school like once a year to preach abstinence, sexual abstinence, and pretty much told us that if we had sex before marriage, we would combust or die in some horrific accident because God rubbed his fingers and shamed people who weren't abstinent until they were married. It was a bunch of hoopla, just a bunch of garbage, a bunch of word vomit. I don't know why it was ever allowed to be preached in schools, but regardless, I bring that up as a preface of what we're going to look at today because I now have a tale of abstinence of my own, but not sexual abstinence. Crypto abstinence. Because once you hear this crypto horror story, you're not going to want to go near it with a 10-foot pole. You're going to treat it like it's your drunk uncle asking you to go to the bedroom to have a wrestling match. You're not going to want to have anything to do with it. And what I'm talking about is this headline right here. Sunderland crypto scam victim tried to rob shop with a gun. But to get a full picture of what's exactly going on in this story, we have to go back to this Twitter post that I first saw. That was a post of a Reddit post. We're getting Inception here. I know, it's getting really hard to track. But it's from r/Buckcoin, and they said, guy loses money intended for wedding to a crypto scam, tries to rob a local store to try and recover, losses. Sorry, my brain got a bit tongue twisted there. I read at about a second grade reading level, so I got a bit ahead of myself. You'll have to excuse me. But it finishes off by saying, get sentenced to 2 years in prison. But obviously with a headline like that, I'm very intrigued at this point. I have to know what's going on. I have to keep digging. I have to solve this case like I'm in the mystery machine. So this screenshot right here is obviously from the BBC article that we just looked at a moment ago. And if we click on over, this is an excerpt from the post. A husband-to-be tried to rob a shop with a gun when he lost money saved for his wedding in a cryptocurrency con. Now, unfortunately, I cannot find out which cryptocurrency scam this was. I don't know if it was penis in butt coin or mouse in my anus coin. I just don't know. I'm sorry, but I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't connect the clues. I couldn't find all the information. If anybody knows, I would gladly take the information, but we can just fill in the blank with any of the various crypto scams that have occurred in the past. For example, FaZe Clan, Logan Paul, what have you. Just fill it in yourself and just imagine that's what the scam is because they're all the same in the end. But to continue on, it says student Lewis Crosby, 25, very naively, converted his savings into digital cash before he was scammed, a court heard. On November 27th, shortly after learning the money had gone, he went to a shop in Sunderland, which this happened in England, by the way, Sunderland, England, and demanded cash, but was foiled when staff fought back. So on the website, they do have some pictures of what he attempted to do. This is the store owners on this side, obviously, and then him and his little get up there trying to rob the place. And he attempted to rob it with a scarf and sunglasses, and his weapon was an airsoft gun. So it looked real, but it wasn't a real gun, and it was also unloaded. But it does say that these people behind the desk here, the people who run the place, they were able to take the gun from him. They had no fear of the gun whatsoever and held him on the ground with the gun on him until the police arrived. So he's even pathetic when he tries to rob a gas station. But the best part of it all is this part right here. When Crosby got arrested, he claimed it was a joke, the court heard. The man literally said the phrase, "It's just a prank, bro," when he got arrested. It's just a joke. This man got his whole life savings and his wedding fund stripped away from some crypto pump and dump scheme. And then he goes and tries to rob a place and says, it's just a prank, bro. Oh my god, the levels of stupidity keep adding up, man. But that's not even the end. Below this, it says Crosby was an undergraduate who was due to marry a Singaporean national he had met online. So this woman may not even be real. He may even have a lawyer that's a Nigerian prince or something. Who's to say how many scams this guy's involved in? He's like my grandmother with the amount of times he's been scammed. Every single time a scam pops up, he falls for it. Now, I don't like being mean to people, and I don't like to call people losers, but this guy is acting like a big loser right now. Is his wife even real? Is she going to show up as some big hairy Discord moderator that has a license to wear a fedora and have Discord kittens suckling from his titties? A gaggle of Discord kittens? But if we go on down here, here's another image of him being arrested. And then it says it went to court, obviously, and Judge Julie Clementson accepted the offenders. shame and remorse were genuine. So he pretty much convinced the people that this was, a mistake. He was shameful and remorseful, which I would say he was. He should be after all that went down. And it says a doctor who assessed Crosby, who has a history of mental health problems, deemed the offense was impulsive response to his losses. And it says that he must have been in a state of crisis to act in such a desperate manner, with thoughts swinging from taking your own life to committing financial crime to get yourself out of the situation, the judge said. So I do feel kind of bad about calling him a loser now. I'm sorry, Crosby, but this whole situation is just wacky to the max. And then it goes on to say that whenever he was sentenced, they said that he was in mental turmoil, which was triggered by being a victim of a crime, even though he committed a crime himself, and losing the money he had worked hard to save. He will also face rehabilitation requirements and a 12-month curfew. So from this article, it seems like he's just going to be facing a little slap on the wrist, don't do that again finger wag, and then maybe a good game butt slap. Maybe a little pinch too. Maybe I'm just a fan of harsh punishment. Maybe I secretly liked it when my mom used to slap me with a belt. I would bite my lip like that. Maybe I just like seeing people suffer. But I think his punishment should have been a bit more severe than that, because he did try to rob a place. He did try to, it was of his own volition. He chose to invest into the crypto scam, and then he chose to go try to rob this place. It's not like anyone forced him to. But all jokes aside, to be real for a minute, I do feel sympathy for this guy because of how many crypto schemes and pump and dump nonsense is going on. Just these crypto scams are running rampant online, and so many people are losing a lot of money, and probably more than this guy lost. Some people are losing everything that they own from these crypto scams because they're being promoted by people who they see as like big iconic figures, people they look up to online, like the FaZe people, for example. A lot of people lost money in that. So you got to feel bad when something like this happens, because it's definitely stemmed from something like that. While I couldn't figure out what crypto scam he fell for, it had to have been one that promised so much money in return, like invest in this and then it'll go to the moon and you can like quintuple your money overnight. And he's like, oh yeah, I could use that for my wedding. It's just really sad to see when stuff like this happens. And the douchebags who are running this stuff are just twirling their mustaches and absolutely stroking their wiener from how much money they're making by being absolutely horrible people. It's just really sad when I see any story like this, because I've seen countless examples of people losing all of the money to their name because of a crypto scheme. They're promised all this stuff in return. They're promised to live in a mansion, drive a Lamborghini, and have so many hot girls sexing them all the time. But all they really get is a slap in the face and say, hey man, I just took your money. What are you going to do about it, pussy? Nothing. You're going to do nothing, because there's no laws surrounding this stuff, and people can just get away with it. They can run away like the Monopoly man with the bag of money that they make. Obviously, the only reason I'm covering this example over all the other countless ones is because of the wackiness surrounding it. But I did really want to make a video about these crypto schemes. I didn't really want to go into it like CoffeeZilla and some ordinary gamers do. I'm not that big into crypto schemes. They do a way better job anyways. I'm not a research-oriented man. I just like to say stuff to a camera and look like a psychopath while I'm talking alone in my room. But yeah, man, that's all I really wanted to talk about in this one. Just a horrible story. Just showing you what can actually happen when the wrong person gets involved with a crypto scam. It's so horrible. I can't say that enough, how sad it is to just look at this. It's really not a good thing. I do hate all crypto scams to the bottom of my heart, and it's why I never invest in crypto. I don't get involved with any of that, because I know if I do, I'm going to be made to look like a fool. They're going to pull my pants down when I don't have any underwear on, and they're going to see my little tiny wiener and make fun of me. So yeah, I wish this guy the best, and all the other countless people that have been wronged from this stuff. And remember, don't invest into any kind of cryptocurrency. It's gambling. That's what it is. And gambling is never in your favor. You're always rigged to be the loser. So I'll catch you next time. Peace out. Sex was a one-way ticket to hell.